Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, everybody. It is Tammy coming to you live from my office, my home office. And, I was sitting here this morning and thinking to myself, um, it's going to be weird, like not working from in this space. And this space can feel it, right? Anybody else understand how spaces can feel things? Because it is a chaotic mess right now, and I feel very, very, very guilty for not having this office in some kind of shape. But we will work on getting that cleaned out and getting us all set up over there. So as you jump on here today, do me a couple of favors. Number one, say hello and tell me where you're watching from, and then drop me a grateful fed in the comments. I am live in a couple of places, right? I am live in the Grateful Fed private community here on Facebook. I'm live in my business page on Facebook, and I'm live on my YouTube channel. Good morning, Heather. It also says Facebook user. Not sure who it is. Either like give them permission or just tell me who you are this morning, because you know how the interwebs can be a little crazy. It's okay. So good morning, good morning, good morning. Grateful Fed Crew, Virginia. I'm going to guess that is Elizabeth, Toledo, Ohio. Um, there's a lot of things I want to put these on because I'm not going to put these on. Oh, it's been one of those days. Um, I appreciate all of the messages and the support that I received after sharing kind of that raw story yesterday morning on Awake and Bake. I probably should have put at the beginning of the live, like in like the topic, like trigger warning. I'm sorry. It's interesting because one of my other friends who's here in the group as well, but I don't think that she saw anything yesterday morning. She had posted about how trigger warning, this movie is excellent on Netflix, Luckiest Girl Alive. But if you've had any kind of these things happening, it may trigger you. And I'm like, no shit, Sherlock, that's a very triggering movie. I would not blast it out. I did not blast that on my personal page because I felt like it was very it was difficult, right? It was difficult for me to watch. But I spent a lot of time in tears yesterday. I spent a lot of time in tears yesterday. But you know what? Every tear that fell, every angry post in my journal yesterday, all of the words I needed to say. It was interesting because I picked up a pen to write my journal, and I'm just going to give you a glance like that. It's like an orange. I found this red orange Sharpie, and for some reason I was picking up something to write with. I needed a pen because things were coming out of me. I had a poem that was coming out of me. It was in my head, and it kept coming into my head, and I was doing stuff, and it kept coming in, and it kept coming in. It was an intrusive thought. And good morning, good morning, good morning. It says Facebook users. Not telling me who you are. So do me a favor, y'all. It is Monday morning, October 17th. It is Wake and Bake Live. We are here from Farmville, Virginia. This is the last kind of week of being here in this office versus being in the new space, right? Yeah, and no, I needed to face my demons. Long day of reflecting and working through the journal. Yeah, I did a little bit of that. Oh, I did a little bit. I did a lot of that. That intrusive thought kept coming in, so I got it on paper. But it was just freeing, and um, it was such a blessing to kind of just say it out loud, to cry all the tears that needed to cry. I mean, I'm sure I have a lot more tears that are going to cry over this, but it's that cleansing cry, right? Is that cleansing cry, and I it's like it's finally moved to a place where it's I can see you now. Can you see me now? I can see you now. It's finally moved to a place. It's kind of like a splinter, right? And that's how I've explained this festering of these emotions. And when you have things, it may not be the same thing that I am dealing with, and I am not projecting that onto anybody. But we all have those pieces of shadow work, that trauma that we have not been able to face yet in our life, right? We all have these pieces and parts of us that we just kind of push down. We kind of put in its little box. We wrap it up, right? We put a bow on it or a block on it, whatever it may be, and we put it away somewhere. And our idea is out of sight, out of mind. And then every so often it festers up, right? and it's like a splinter. It's very much like a splinter. It's there. It's annoying. Sometimes it hurts. You've had a splinter that's like really deep, and like initially it's awful, right? Just like these things that happen to us. Initially, when it goes in the skin, it is just miserable and awful, and we know it's there. And maybe we pull pieces of it out, and we kind of deal with the pieces of it. But sometimes you get those little fragments or shards that kind of just stay down in there, and over time you'll be like they'll work their way out. Anybody ever had that kind of an injury where like maybe a cut with glass where you thought you got it all out and then like weeks later you're still like little pieces of glass and all the things? Because I have, right? And that's kind of what this healing journey and this shadow work for me has kind of felt like, right? It has kind of felt like I know it's there and I got to move it around and do something with it. I'm just not sure, like it's if it's out of sight, out of mind. So a lot of times I can push that splinter back down in there and I don't have to think about it. I don't feel it. I don't know it's there. I know it's there. I know it's there some in some part of my dark part of my mind. Um, yeah, and so that is the way that I kind of describe that, right? And it could be about anything that you're dealing with. Maybe it was past trauma of something you said, and like in the moment you felt really bad. I've had those too. I mean, this is how kind of I kind of deal with my shadow work, right? I like to I don't do it all at once. I'm not a rip the band-aid off at once kind of girl, right? I'm more of a like, ooh, I don't want to look at it yet. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'll look at it and put it back. I'm like, nope, I'm not ready. And even though it was a very raw and it's very emotional, as you can see today, I can handle it a lot better, right? Because I had the time yesterday to allow myself the opportunity to kind of feel the feels. And I didn't try to push them down. Red and I were just talking yesterday at the table about nothing that would make me cry. And I was just crying. I mean, just like I was yesterday, just sobbing. He's like, this crying's got to stop. And I was like, no, the fuck it doesn't. And pardon my language on Monday morning at 9, 10 a.m. Put your earbuds in. Y'all know I'm not the friend to watch a live. I'm not the girl to watch a live without earbuds if you're in a public place. And y'all know that. Y'all know that. So I ain't gonna even tell you. If you have been warned if this is your first time here, because this is not a lot of people's first rodeo. But um he was like, man, he's like, you gotta there's nothing to cry about. I'm like, there is so much to cry about. And I said, I'm not even crying about that. I said, I am crying about something completely different. These tears are cleansing for me. I know you don't understand, and I no longer feel the need to have to monitor my emotions to make you feel more comfortable around me. If my emotions right now are making you uncomfortable, then we need to figure out a way that I can have my emotions and you can do whatever you need to do and you give me my time. And he honored that, right? But do you know every other time, that's what this thing was coming out, and I had to write this down. It was like because every time I said I need help, you told me I didn't. That's what the poem. That's the first line of the poem, and I'm working on it, and it's probably going to be in my book, and I'm probably not going to share it until then, because it's still kind of a work in progress. And it was every time I said I was weak, you convinced me that I was strong. Even when I wasn't asking you a question, I was stating a fact. And I'm not talking about my husband. I'm talking about the world. Those statements are whenever I try. We all feel that way, I'm sure, right? How many of you as women or as men or as whatever else, you have said to your friends group, right? You have said to your friend group, maybe you were just overwhelmed with being a parent and working and being a wife, or you're overwhelmed with the duties of being the responsibility of being the breadwinner as a man for your home. Maybe if you are, because not all men are anymore. I mean, I promise you on that. Um, Whatever it may be, right? How many of you watching me today have ever looked at somebody and said, man, I could use some help right now? And the response you got back was, oh, you're fine. You've got this. You're strong. It's that pep talk, right? And that's what I realized. I was like, y'all, everyone in the world has convinced me of my strength when I wasn't. And I was like, I didn't say I wasn't strong. I said in that moment I was weak. I wasn't asking a question. I wasn't asking for strength. I was asking for comfort. And because I've had to self comfort for so long, now I'm aggressive. I'm overbearing. I'm bossy. I'm in charge. All the things. Now, blessing and curse, blessing and curse. all of you have to love the good with the bad. All of the things that made me me, all the things y'all love about my go get itness, my get it done, that is the message in this mess. It took me yesterday. I didn't know what the message was, and I told you it could happen in a moment. And as I journaled through this and I cried through this, right? I have to take the good with the bad. Would I be standing on my feet like this? Would I be living my soul's purpose? If I had any other option, what would it have looked like? Because that's another timeline, another place, another time. But I'm no longer responsible for how my presence in your world. It's not. I have to live my true, authentic life in every way. I am very good at trying to make sure that everybody else around me is more comfortable, is comfortable. And I will always be that consummate Southern hostess. But I'm no longer going to do that. Um, if it, I'm no longer going to take myself out of that equation for being comfortable. Because in the past, I have ensured that everybody else in my atmosphere has been happy, healthy, fed, wise, even at the detriment of me. I didn't matter, everybody else did. But if I'm going to be my true, authentic self and advise you and coach you and be a spiritual leader or whatever I am to some of you, right? Um, is that I am no longer going to silence my needs or my feelings for everyone else's comfort. And I don't mean that, I see a lot of people say that they come into this awakening and they go like, you go from one extreme to the other. And I'm not saying that, but I'm going to say that I am no longer going to not consider how I feel about something. My feelings have got to be considered. The only feelings that I can control, the only person that I have autonomy over is myself. And I'm going to encourage you to do the same thing. And I went outside this morning, got up early, and do me a favor. I'm going to ask you a couple of things, right? Number one, if you have not done so already, say hi and tell me where you're watching from. So that helps. That's easy peasy lemon squeezy. That helps get the algorithm up and gets more than 3 people on here watching us today, right? Because somebody else needs to hear this message this morning. Somebody out there needs to hear this, and their blessings are being blocked because somebody wants them to stay small. But somebody needs to hear this today. So do me a favor. Say hello. Tell me where you're watching from. Number one. That's one comment. Hi, Tammy. Watching from whatever. Second comment. Hashtag grateful fed. Third comment. Tag the first person who pops into your mind. I want you to close your eyes right now. Take a deep breath. Somebody do me a favor and tag Amanda Giorgetti for me. She's the first person that popped to my mind. Tag Amanda Giorgetti. I want you to tag the first person that comes into your mind today. And then I want you to look at those little reaction buttons, those hearts, those thumbs up, those oh faces. It's really the wow face, but whenever I was doing pure romance, those to me look like orgasm faces. So I called them the oh, because they go oh face. So I call them the O face. It's the wow face. The care, just not the angry, right? Just pop some of those little hearts or those little like buttons, because that also helps get this video to be viewed, because somebody needs to see it today. Somebody needs to understand that their emotions matter. If they are sad, it is just as valid as when anybody else is sad. And if people are uncomfortable with that emotion, then those people don't need to be in that energy field that day. And that's just the truth of the matter. I told Rachel, I was like, I'm not crying over anything you did. And if it's making you uncomfortable, then we can separate our spaces. But I am not going to not cry because you don't think I should cry. Yes, I need to cry. I need to make room. I said, this is part of my process. And I explained it to him, right? I explained it to him. And he's like, okay, long as you don't, he's like, long as like you're not crying over this, because he said, if you were, I'd need to understand why. And I was like, honey, I was like, I get your need to understand why. I was like, but as we make room for the things that are happening, I said, there's so much energy coming in and so many things happening. I was like, every time I grow, um, I feel like I need this moment of just like release and this letting go and these tears because I have always been, always, my whole life, it was nice and freeing. That's what the poem came from. Because every time I cried out in tears, I was told to dry it up. Put your big girl panties on, dry it up. So I learned to choke back my tears in every instance. And I knew that I had started building this community and it was the right community when I cried the first time in front of y'all because I don't do that. I do not like to do that. You see me fight it. It is like sometimes the safety of this energy, these hugs that y'all send me virtually. I was cleaning chickens, bawling. My husband did ask if I needed him, but no, I got this. Just let me be for a few. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, and I did all kinds. I did all of my clothes, all of my like. I did the same thing, right? And it's interesting that whenever that stuff kind of moves, um, whenever that stuff kind of moves through me, I also find ways to clear out my physical space. And I did that in my bedroom. And it was so interesting because your bedroom, whenever it's more neat and tidy, it leads to intimacy. And I feel like people talk about putting weight on to protect themselves. One of my things is I keep like a really like, I have clothes and things like that. My room's not dirty, but my room is definitely a mess all the time, I feel like, because it's not conducive for intimacy. It just makes you want to go to sleep, right? But I feel so much better walking in today. And I'm still in comfort clothes I had on yesterday. It was so funny. I'm going to tell y'all this little side note because y'all know my nonsense, right? Um, Red had a big old pile too, and we both went there and worked on our piles to get all the clothes out. We're really trying to purge once we get all of this hometown hippie, all of the things that are in this house. This house is more business. It is like we sleep at my job. It really is. I mean, it's just shit everywhere. I'm shit everywhere. And one of the things I wanted to do today, but everybody had things to do, is I really wanted to get my house clean today, and I wanted to be able to get that done. But I just no way I can do that today. No way I can do that this week. Just being true about it. But I told her I was like, once we get all of these things out of the house, once we get into the space, right? Once I'm working there. So my goal is to move some stuff out of this space and be able to be in that space. When Heather gets back, we'll probably be moving shit because I'm behind on everything. I'm not behind. I'm exactly where I need to be. Everything is happening and unfolding in divine time. I'm changing my thinking on that, right? But uh, there's shit everywhere. There is shit everywhere. Tommy keeps a big pile of clothes in the bedroom. It makes my teeth itch. LOL. I have clothes. Y'all, it makes everything I have, it's a problem. But I do it. I do it. I do it. I'm trying to get better. I went through it yesterday. But Red and I were both like folding and hanging, like we have a pile on the floor, like the Goodwill, the giveaway thing. Um, y'all, we were making our piles. So I had like bathing suits and underwear and bras and socks that kind of go in one drawer. And then like Red had a pile like underwear, t-shirts, t-shirts, underwear, shorts, pants, long sleeve sweatshirts, blah, 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 right? Just basically the thing it is in the pile. So I had a pile of summer stuff's kind of going away now. So I had all of my summer bottoms, my summer tops and dresses. Those were in a pile. I had pajamas. I had socks, underwear, t-shirt, all the things that go into your underwear drawer, the things. I had a spot that was like work clothes, like things that I wear to work, like all my hometown hippie shirts, my shorts, all of my headbands, all the things that are folded. Um, and then I had a pile of comfort clothes. He's like, "What the fuck is this pile?" I was like, "That's my comfort clothes." He's like, "I never see you wearing anything that isn't comfortable. Like everything is stretchy and all the things, right?" Um, And he was like, comfort clothes. I was like, yeah, it's all my hippie clothes. He's like, okay. So I had a pile, like, I have a drawer, it's like comfort clothes. He's like, I can't with you. And you're like, your little thing. So we were laughing about, like, when I was doing my dividing, it was comfort clothes. And I still don't have anywhere to put all the things. I got to go through and get rid of some stuff, I guess, still. But we're getting there. At least the piles are moved and we've started moving in the right direction. And the goal is that once everything that's hometown hippie, that's nothing that's like not our stuff is in the home, I'm gonna pay somebody to come in. I'm gonna get a dumpster dropped. I'm gonna have Evan come in and go through. He's got a whole room of storage back there. That is his storage stuff, some of our storage stuff, just a lot of just it was all in our attic and garage, and we have zero storage here. So one room caught it all. And we are going to clean that and unstick that energy and get this house smudged and kind of take a deep breath and figure some shit out, right? I'm going to be hiring a housekeeper and I'm going to pay them in whatever they want. I'll pay them in edibles or in money. Either way, I will pay them however they want to be paid. And I'm going to have somebody come into this house once a week because I'm going to be at the shop and I know how that looks when I work away from the home. And I always have had a housekeeper when I worked away from the home because my house is important, but so is my peace. So we're going to get a housekeeper. I was like, I'm getting my housekeeper back once we get the business out of the house and all the things out of the house. And I was like, then I can exhale. I can exhale. And I may even move my bedroom back to the room that's Hometown Hippie now. We're thinking about moving our things back there and kind of making that the mud room kind of thing and have all the tents and the freezers and the extra stuff in there. Just a thought. We're not sure yet. Um, so anyway, I don't know where I was with that topic, but it was about cleaning your space and making room, right? And like I did it emotionally and physically with the tears yesterday and the journaling and getting things out of me. Like I got it out, right? I got it out of my head. I got it out of my heart. The poem thing is the stuff that came out in orange is I'm not ready to read it yet. Like I'm not ready to read it yet, but a couple of those lines just kept burning in my head. Now I said all of that because you know how I have to do. I have to go around like I say in my countryness and my hillbillyish, my drawiness. I have to go around my elbow to get to my asshole. You'll be glad you purge before you move to your new home too. I have a garage full of stuff I moved. Now I have to throw it out. Yeah, and so we do that every time we move, 100% for sure. We purge and we get dumpsters and all the things and a lot of stuff because we're going to be able to build that and then move into it and with time because we can afford both places. I'm blessed for that. um but that house is going to be very much a lot of the bigger things that are good and valuable are probably not like our recliners will probably get new furniture when we move into that house. I know that my ta- table and chairs will not go, but we're going to be having the little tiny house Airbnbs later on. So Red and I talked about we're going to build like a metal building over there. We're going to put like make that storage. And then we can live in that if we have to, or building the house, right? Put a metal building up, like a 1 bedroom, 1 bath, like little thing for us, and then build the house and the pool and all the things. And then we can leave those things there and then be able to really furnish the new home with all the things, right? Because Red's like, let me guess, you're gonna have a built-in crystal display. I'm like, oh yeah. I was like, I've got some ideas. I want it feng shui. I want it facing certain ways. So it's going to be our forever place. So we really want to make sure the energy is right there. And I'm not taking all this stuff. It's not going to go in trash bags and just go and figure out a spot. It's the house. I'm basically going to move my clothes in when I move in there. Like it's going to be chef's kiss. That's my goal. That's what I'm putting. The universe has their plans. That's my idea. But yes, we want to clean before we move for sure. I'm on a tangent now, of course, because the cup of coffee, so the caffeine is kicking in, and the cannabis, the caffeine and the cannabis just kicked in. But sometimes you have to take a breath and slow your energy down. And this morning, what I was saying was, I woke up this morning and I had met a lovely lady. Have not spent much time with her face to face, but y'all know that that does not matter in this world because we I've never met many of you face to face. But her name is Tanya, and she did a little live video. I sent her some love mail, and she did an unboxing. I met her at the women's retreat. She's got a school bus. She kind of sold everything in her life. She's going through her journey, and she is living on a school bus. And she bought a school bus, and it's called Last Dance with Mary Jane. And her dog, she got a dog, and it's a little Irish setter doodle or something like that, a little Irish doodle. And the dog's name is Mary Jane, and she's blogging and vlogging across the Virginia and putting it on Facebook. She's part of Mary Jane's Wildflower. She's part of that group. She's actually the admin of that group. And She right now is doing a work to stay at an alpaca farm up in the New River Valley in the Shenandoah Valley, I'm sorry, in Virginia, in the mountains. She lives at the beach. It's where her family is from. She's not from there, but she's from Michigan, I think. I think I heard that right. She's from like Michigan area. Lived at the beach, Virginia Beach, and then now she had her kids. She sold everything. She's living in her bus in a van down by the river, right? And she messaged me this morning, says, "Hey, lady, I'm heading back towards the alpaca farm today. I'm going to get a little bit of a late start from Virginia Beach, and I wanted to know if there was a spot that we could maybe pull in, have a chat, spend some time with you, and stay halfway between the two places to give me a little break. Let the dog stretch her legs. I'll get up in the morning and be on my way." And I was like, 100%. Well, I asked Red because I'm doing better about not just saying, "Sure, I'll talk to Red about it, but it should be fine." I just didn't even say anything, didn't answer. I went and said, "Hey, babe." I was like, "I just woke up. Wanted to tell you goodbye. Thanks. He made my coffee. Such a sweetheart." And I said, "The lady I met at the retreat who has the bus, it's like doing the school bus thing," I was like, "is needing a place to park tonight. She got a dog, wants to stop." He's like, "Of course, certainly. Tell her to come on. We got her," right? So, um, she's going to stay with us this evening, and she's going to head back early in the morning. But I'm excited to spend some time with her. It's interesting the amount of people that are coming to be here, and it's making me very happy to be able to share energy with people. So that's a little fun thing that happened this morning. But I was up early, right? I was up before Red left, and I was gonna go fix my coffee, and I was like, "Oh, he's so good." A coffee pot was filled up. All I had to do was hit the button, did my little morning constitutional, right? And I walked outside, and I was like, "Let me find some dirt." It's kind of like gross here today. I mean, I don't know. I need it to be a little cooler. It's gotten that like it's rained last night. It's kind of like a thickness in the air. It's like not hot, but not cold, but kind of like sticky. I don't know. Like a fall humidity. I don't like fall humidity. Um, and I wanted to go put my foot in the dirt. Put my feet in the dirt this morning and do a little movement. I've got some things other things I've been working on for retreat. My breath work and my wake and bake and shake meditation with moving your body and getting the air out. And I wanted to work on this breath work meditation that I've been working on. Um, not good. It's not good breathing, brother. But I wanted to work on where you, right? And as you do your inhales, you move your body, right? You inhale. As you exhale, you turn your head to the left. Inhale here. You want that inhale to last the entire time you're moving your head because it makes you slow down, take that deep breath, and then you exhale it, so you hold it, and then you exhale it slow as you turn your head. You lift your shoulders, you drop your shoulders. You lift your arms, you drop your arms. You bend at the side, you stand up at the side. You bend at the side, you turn up at the side, right? Then we get on the mat and we lift our legs and we open our hips and we close our hips. We open our hips and we close our hips. Then we can sit there and I say, take those breaths because at this point you've done your deep breath meditation. Now you're kind of relaxing in to your regular, slow, thorough breathing, or like, and you can like stretch out your wrist and you can do your ankles and you can, put your legs up, put your legs down, put your legs up, put your legs down, then stretch it all out. Then we get up, we put on some super fun music, and then we can dance and move our bodies. So I wanted to do that meditation this morning with the movement, other than getting on the mat because it's too wet, to see kind of how long it would take to do it. And right when I got done, I opened up my eyes as two ducks. And I wonder if ducks send out like a scouting party before they start flying south for the winter to see like the path. I don't know if they do that or not, but these two ducks look like they were like a partner pair, and they were just flying in unison, and it was gorgeous, right? They were flying. They weren't looking at each other. They weren't worried about what the other one was doing. They were just getting to where they needed to go. It looked like, and they were in perfect unison. And that's what this message was about today, right? Because the ducks, right? The ducks do the migration. They trust their internal compass. Ducks trust their intuition. Think about when all these hummingbirds and ducks and all these animals kind of migrate. And I don't know like the science of it. And I'm going to assume that I do, because the message that I got about this and the message that came to me was that look how these ducks trust it, right? That one duck did not need to look at the other duck and say, "Are you coming? What are you doing?" The other, that's like, it's not my business. What that duck does is that duck's business. What I'm doing is I am making sure that I have got the things that I need at hand. The duck had blinders on. I never saw the duck turn its head. The duck just flew, and they were flying together, and they were just doing the thing. It's like they knew what they were supposed to do. They were trusting their internal guidance system. And when I looked up and I saw that, source, God, whatever you want to say, right, said, told you to put your blinders on. You're going to get to where you're going, but stop worrying about everybody else that's coming along with you. The only person that you got to get to the finish line is you. Everybody else is going to follow and know exactly how to do it. Lead, stop looking back. Leaders, you need to lead, and then people will either follow or they won't. You can't keep stopping, and you can't keep picking up the pack. You can't be the leader and then going to the back and pushing people through, right? And that duck, those ducks, birds, y'all, birds, birds, birds. And it was all about that, right? It was about pick your path. Pick your path. And these tears and these shadow work pieces and these stuck pieces of trauma and all of these things are all of the pieces of the puzzle, right? That keep me not trusting, right? We will be there with you, maybe a bump along the way, but we will catch up. And here's the thing, right? What those ducks reminded me is that every single person has their own journey. That one duck cannot carry the other duck, right? They're not capable. They're not built that way. As far as like physically picking that other duck up, all that other duck could do is I'm going to go in the direction that I need to go in. I'm going to do what needs to be done, and I'm going to hope the flock follows. I'm going to hope that the flock sees it and that they go on their journey and they get there too, right? Because the destination might be the same, but every single one of those ducks, every single one of those birds had its own individual journey to get there. It may have been the same, may have been the same through the same cities, through the same states, in the same direction. But every one of those ducks took its own individual journey to get there. It had to have the option to get up and fly. Nobody made that duck fly. Not any of those ducks were like, come on, you gotta do it, you gotta do it, you gotta do it, you gotta do it. Right? It was an individual decision by that duck to take that journey from north to south. I don't know. Maybe they stop in different places. Maybe they do different things. But you always see like the first two ducks will show up here at my house, right? Like those two ducks flying where they need to fly. A couple of ducks will show up and land on the pond. You'll see them landing on the pond. Everybody's like, get them damn ducks out of here. They're going to eat my fish. I'm like, they're fine. Leave them be. I'm like, you touch my ducks, I'm going to touch your arm. I'm going to knock you out. Not that I would, but you know what I'm saying. Um, but then they'll be here for a couple of days and all of a sudden everybody else shows up, and then they have a little community. They have a little of our fish. They poop all over our yard, and then you'll see them take off and they fly in unison. Now here's the thing, right? They got here, and one of them got here, two of them got here, and then the rest of them showed up. They all leave together, but I'm going to guess at the next place that they stop, maybe in North Carolina or South Carolina or wherever they stop for a minute, I guarantee you one or two or three might get there before. Sometimes we've seen the flock come, and then maybe a week later, three or four more birds come, right? No bird's coming back to see where they're at. No bird's not going on its journey because this bird's you're waiting on this bird, right? So I want you to be like the bird, right? I want you to be like the bird. Number one, don't be afraid to fly. Do not be afraid to get the wind beneath your wings, because you never know. Sky's the limit, right? Number two, don't worry about the other birds, right? The other birds have got to do what the other birds got to do, right? You can be a part of that bird community, but you still have to take your journey, your own individual journey. And here's the thing, right? A lot of the times we get so caught up in this day and age of the destination. And I am the guiltiest person that I've ever talked to anybody about this. one or two stops for a 420 break. LOL. Yeah. I wonder what the bird's equivalent of a 420 break is. Like fermented like bath uh bird water. I don't know. Like what how do they get high? I don't know. I'm sure everything has a reason to like I need a minute. Like I need to have a little drink, a little chill out. I'm sure every like animal has something. Maybe they lick, I don't know, maybe they eat a specific mushroom or something. I don't know. Something. There's probably a bug out there. It's like, did you see that grub worm? That thing is dank, man. That's the dankest. You gotta go there at the dankest grub worms. I don't know what they eat. Y'all know I'm stupid. So anyway, the most important part, right, is that we get caught up in that destination. I'm the most guilty for it, right? I'm the guiltiest for it. Like we have the eye on the prize, and you get so caught up in the end result, right, that you do not understand that really the whole point of it, all the lessons, what really matters is the journey. It's the getting there. And I think about in the song that just came into my head, right? And who here listens to country music? Anybody listen to country music? Yes, country music, no country music. There's a song called "You're Gonna Miss This." Does anybody know that song? I think it's Toby Keith. Is it not Toby Keith? Trace Atkins, I think. Trace Actions. Buzzbirds is the whole vision. Yeah, we're a bunch of buzzed ass birds, right? A bunch of old hens. Um, Trace Atkins. I think it's Trace Atkins. You're gonna miss this. You're gonna want this back. I sing because I know that Facebook will not block me for stealing the song because it is nothing like that. You're gonna wish these days hadn't gone by so fast. These are the good ones. You know, take a good look around. You may not know it now, but you're gonna miss this, right? That's the journey. We get so caught up in the destination that we forget to enjoy the journey. I'm gonna like, it only lasts a moment. You're gonna miss this. I'm gonna miss having everything everywhere. Maybe not miss that. But it's gonna be a good story. I'm like, you remember when I was like everything was everywhere? I can't believe we're so settled. We have all this room, right? I told her I was like, I am so ready to get out of this house, but I guarantee you I'm gonna miss the days of my house being a whole vibe, right? Um, the days when you had to be creative and figure out what you're going to eat because you didn't have food. I mean, I've had days where I'm like, I don't know, baby. I'm so busy. I will put something together. I didn't lay shit out. Right. I don't know what I'm going to cook you tonight. Let me go create something. And I'm going to miss like that kind of stress because we've been busy and I've been in the kitchen all day. Right. And I'm even going to miss the empty building before when it was a blank slate. Because and right now, anything's possible. Right now, on the journey, the destination is it's a dream. It's anything you want it to be. Right? How many times have you wanted something so bad you could taste it? And the journey to getting there was just all consuming. It's probably the best journey you've ever. Let's put it this way, right? An actual road trip, right? How many of you have ever been going somewhere and all you were thinking about was getting there? And how great it was going to be when you got there, like all the things you're going to do at that destination, right? And you hold it in your head and you have this big, huge thing about it. And the drive in was fun, but you're like, I got to get there, I got to get there, I got to get there. And you forewent some of the fun stuff you could have done on the road trip. When you got there, it was way underwhelming. And you're like, man, this sucks. This sucked. Like, I had more fun at the gas station. We laughed hard at the gas station than I did at this trip. It's because you can't see the forest for the trees sometimes, right? So enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey. Whatever the journey looks like for you, right? Enjoy your journey. Um, it is uh my absolute pleasure to come and talk to y'all here and to hopefully, help you to I don't know, put some things into perspective sometimes because these messages I get from source. That's what I'm missing in the Poconos. The fall was always my favorite. Hang on, y'all. Hang on. Give me just 1 second. Y'all know how it is. If you smoke them, if you got them, let's wake and bake. We're all awake. I'm gonna stop this camp, and we're gonna bake. So tell me this morning if you are baking. What are you baking on? What are you puffing on today? I am puffing on today. I have a bowl. I've had a blunt of lemon cherry gelato, and now I'm smoking a bowl of some white runts. My bowl got cleaned uh, yesterday, and it's hitting very nicely. We got this cleaner at the Kinecon. It's got this little bag, and you fill it up to this line with the powder in it with hot water, and you just drop your pieces, seal the bag, and just shake them up. Now this is kind of a big piece, right? This is a bigger bowl, so I can only put the bubbler piece in there. But you can see it's got like it's cleaned out pretty good. Of course, I've smoked out of it, but it's pretty decent. It cleaned our bong lickety split. I still think Evan's cleaner's a little bit better, but it's got alcohol, and you can smell the alcohol. Where this one is like no smell, but 6 of one half dozen of the morning. Mach 1 this morning, and of course the caramel in my coffee. Hell, what is it? I'm out. You can see I'm out. But we're gonna do something this morning I don't normally do. Every morning we're gonna pull a collective card on from the Wisdom of the Avalon deck, and I don't know why that one popped out at me. The cow. I've been getting these animal markers lately. That one just kind of popped out, and it felt like it was the right card. Um, it's the cow. It's an animal totem card, and it says, Katie Shaw, spoken one of your pre rolls. That is going to be a Jack Herrera skunk. That has got that the stuff we do pre rolls out of. Either that or Oreos. We got two different strains right now. We kind of mix them together. But we got nourishment, abundance, asking, and receiving the cow. Right, the cow is the card we got today. And that is our message for today. So let's look and see what the cow says. Yesterday was the cat. Today is the cow. It says, the cow says, take my milk. I can always feed you. I'll eat the grass of the god goddess, and in return, pass good fortune on to you. Nourishment is never ending when I appear on your path. Don't forget to till the soil so that grass may grow. Abundance is made manifest out of a universal system. Do your part, and I will do mine with joy. Ask, and you will receive all of the blessings that I have to offer. The cow reminds you that there is no shortage of blessings in this world. Also, to partake in infinite abundance, and you will ask to partake in addition in an infinite abundance, and you will indeed get exactly what you need. And I love that it says this. I'm going to read this last part again. Um, the cow reminds you that there's no shortage of blessings in this world. None. Ask to partake in the infinite abundance, and you will indeed get exactly what you need. When I say these cards sometimes just speak and just yell at me and scream at me, what do we talk about? You can't always get what you want, but you just might find what you get what you need. I'm not going to keep singing songs today, y'all. This is not Tammy karaoke, but hey, you never know. We talk about this, right? You will get what you need, and you ask for it with gentleness, ease, and grace, and you ask for the blessings. But when you and I say, speak what you seek till you see what you said, and I'm getting better at saying to the universe, right? Um, I want the blessings that you have planned out for me that are to my highest and best. I want to receive those with as much gentleness, ease, and grace as I possibly can while fulfilling my soul and karmic contracts. And that's what let's say that together today, right? Can I say so be it and so it is? Today we are asking the universe for all of the blessings that are to our highest and best that you have in store for us. We are not limiting those blessings. We are asking for those to come into us, right? And to fill us up in the appropriate time and in the appropriate manner while fulfilling all of our karmic and soul contracts with as much gentleness, ease, and grace as we can. I am asking this, so be it, and so it is. I'm asking this for everyone today. I'm asking you to stand in your power today of number one, not limiting yourself to make others feel more comfortable. I'm asking you if the tears come and it makes somebody uncomfortable, tell them, say, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry that I'm crying. I apologize if my emotions are making you uncomfortable. If that's the case, then right now we should not be sharing space. We will find our ways to create separate space. But I am no longer going to limit my emotional state to make other people more comfortable, right? If I am sad, I am sad. If I am weak, then I am allowed to be weak in that moment. And I'm not saying being weak where I fall apart. Not, I'm not saying that. But sometimes we just need to be vulnerable. And we don't need to be the strongest person in the room and all of those things, right? Number two, right? I want y'all all to remember that finding a few moments to take some deep breaths and moving your body is going to help connect you to your inner self, to your higher self, your higher self, right? I always say that my higher self, that bitch has got to be high because I am high. So my higher self has got to be real high. My highest self, I'm like, what is my highest self? As Carly says, oh, really buzzy and a little heavy. That's what she says. My energy felt like really buzzy and and a little heavy. I'm like, that is exactly who I am as a human being. Really buzzy and a little heavy. But whatever it is, I want you to feel your feelings, and I want you to stay your path, right? I want you to stay your path. I want you to move your body and feel your energy because some of us are lost, and that grounding will help us find our path. Like today, I went outside and I put my feet in that dirt. And when I looked up and I saw those two ducks, it was like everything was crystal clear. Find your moments like that. And everybody's moments are different. It may be a rustling of the wind, it may be a flower that you haven't seen in a while that reminds you, it may be a bird that shows up. We have a cardinal that shows up, and it always shows up for red. I've seen it a million times, but it tends to show up. He's like, hey, look. And he's like, hey, mama. And he always says, that's my mom. And I swear that's my mom. Since I've moved, I haven't been able to cry. I've wanted to, but no tears. It's weird. I would just say take some deep breaths, and, they will come when it's time for them to come, right? You're going to have to, it's probably something, I feel like there's something stuck that you're like, sometimes our highest self stops the tears for us for a little while, I feel like, because it's one of those things when we have something big to cry about, when you open up the floodgates, you have to be in a place to be able to maybe close them off. Because sometimes, like, I did not cry after my mom passed away. I cried my face off when my mom died. But after that, it was probably a year, because I said, if I've cried so much that I cried so much in January of 2018 that my tears tasted like salt. I mean, my saliva, everything I ate tasted like salt in my mouth. If I drank water, it tasted like salt. I had an overproduction of tears. Everything was salty. Everything for months was salty. And I said, I'm done. I can't do this anymore, right? And I shut down and I started my process, and everything changed. But um, I know that feeling. I've been there. I've been there. And I kept saying, if I cry, I'm never going to stop. I was like, if I don't stop crying, I'm never going to stop crying. And I have to stop crying. Um, Now, I want you to allow yourself to feel your feelings. I want you to go out and move your body. I want you to go listen to those little things the universe tells you. And what the universe tells me is different than what it tells Sheila. It's different than what it tells Heather. Different than what it tells Elizabeth. Different than what it tells Lisa. Different than what it tells Katie. Different than what it tells every single person on this planet. We all have our individual journey. Like those ducks reminded me, we might be all be going to the same destination, but every single person gets there in their own time, in their own way, and with their own stories to tell at the conclusion of it, right? So I want you to know that here in the Hometown Hippie Elevated Edibles Grateful Fed community, that you have community, that there are people who are heading the same destination that you are, and we cannot wait to see you when we get there and to have conversation. And we can't wait for those little moments we get to spend some time on those different little ponds, right? When our flock gets together. Now, I would love for the flock to gather when we have our grand opening. I know that we're going to be doing a Friendsgiving. We're hoping everything works out that way. Heather Johns is going to be in local to us, coming in on Halloween and staying for a week. We have Lisa and Say with My Mystical Life. So if you are someone who is local to us and these people, you love them like I do, please feel free to come talk to us and come flock with us that week. Um, we will find time to bring you into the fold. We will find time to give you a hug, your neck. I think Heather told me something about maybe a drum circle happening. So we'll list all of that here. And I want each and every one of you to know that the week, not this week, not next week, but the week after, So the week that Heather will be here will be the week of the first week of November, the very first week of November. Heather will be here, and that first weekend is when Sam and Lisa will be here. We're going to get this apothecary stocked and some things in there, and the Zindan working and all the things. Um, I'm very, very, very happy and ecstatic, and I am ready for the blessings that the universe has for me. I hope that you are open and you are receiving the blessings that the universe has for you. Um, if you're still, like I said, in your mess and you don't have your message yet, it can change in a moment, right? Your blessing, your message can can come to you within a moment. Don't be afraid to have your ears open to hear it. Don't block your blessing by closing your eyes and not seeing it. Get yourself outside, get your feet in the dirt, write some stuff in your journal, get it out of you and get it onto the paper and make room for those blessings. Because a lot of us don't get our blessings because we're holding on to it. We're holding on to all of that programming and bullshit that we tell ourselves that we don't have room for. The universe is like, until you get rid of this, until you set this down, because it's no longer doesn't you don't need this anymore. Your hands are full, right? I knew this is like that. I knew when this energy came up for me, when this crying came out, when all these things came on paper out, when that energy would be like, Carly's like, I've had sludge just moving around my body. And I feel so confident that this is the last block that I have. No, I say that, right? And it's like universe is like, wait till I tell you what else is coming. We're gonna give you a side of like, 1992 drama. We're going to give you a slash of that with something, crazy else. Like we're going to make you remember something else from a lifetime 10 years ago or 2 lifetimes ago that'll fuck you up, Tammy. Just wait, we got something for you. It is what it is, right? Whatever it may be, whatever contract, whatever karma, whatever it is that I have to resolve, what I'm saying to the universe right now is what this card just told me, reminded me to do, right? The cow reminds you there is no shortage of blessings in this world. Ask to partake in the infinite abundance, and you will indeed get exactly what you need. And I'm going to tell you right now, make room for what you need. Get rid of what no longer serves you, and don't tease the universe. Yes, I want you to get rid of what is no longer serving you. Lay it down and make room in your arms to receive your blessings, right? Those ducks don't carry shit. I don't see them with suitcases and all the things, right? And I don't want you to carry your baggage around either, right? It's time to unpack that baggage. It's time to wash it and put it away or to burn it or whatever it may be, right? But whatever it is, allow yourself the joy, right, of receiving that an infinite abundance and the blessings that the world has for you. I hope that all makes sense today. I took some deep breaths when we started this, and that message is from, I said, I need to be a clear and perfect channel for the message that you want me to deliver. And I remove myself from it. The person who needed to hear this today, there's something that whoever needed to hear heard it today. I know that there was somebody who needed to hear this today, like specifically, and I don't know who it is. It's none of my business. They've either seen it now or they'll see it in, days or whatever. It always happens that way. I didn't see this message appearing on about the moon. Hang on. Did I see something I missed? I thought I missed something. Hang on. Maybe not. Maybe I just I'm I'm on the car driving to work. The trees changed overnight, yellow, orange, and red everywhere. Yes, our trees are gorgeous down here right now. Um, that's what I'm missing, the Poconos. The fall was always my favorite. March 1 this morning, Mach 1. Okay, that's the thing. Katie Shaw. I thought I saw it at the moon. No, maybe I didn't. Okay. I didn't. I was just making sure I didn't miss any comments. On that note, I love each and every one of you. I hope and I pray that when I get to the destination, because I can't look back and I can't look side to side, but I'm going to keep flying. And I hope that you will keep flying. And it is not my responsibility to fly for you. It is just my responsibility to keep flapping, right? Just keep flapping. Instead of just keep swimming, just keep flapping. And I'm going to keep flapping those wings, and I'm going to keep my listening to that inner guidance. And at the destination that we come to, I know that the Grateful Fed, if you build it, they will come. And that is the trust, and that is the trust that I'm walking in. That is the trust that I'm walking in, is that all is well, all is in divine time. I love each and every one of you. If you are coming to Woo Woo 101 retreat and you need a retreat box put together, some of you have given me your orders already. Some of you haven't. I will be sending invoices out for that stuff. Just give me a little bit to do it. I've got you. Don't stress over it. We'll get you straight. I just want to make sure that we are getting everybody done so I get these orders and we get a plan and get all that stuff built out. I got a lot of stuff to do this week. I'm going to be heading to Richmond on Wednesday to go to Costco and things like that. So we will be around. We've got plenty of stuff. Don't forget, we will have limited only what's in stock next week. So they will be able to, I'm going to take I'm going to hide things on the website that we don't have. So we are going to, if you need something, the best thing to do is to go ahead and to get your order in this week for the end of the month. If you need help, let me know. I will need help tomorrow. I will need help tomorrow. Today I've got meetings. I've got to go to the bank to sign some paperwork. I've got to do some Zooms with some vendors we met. I've got emails to return. I've got things to do today. And I need some space today to do it myself, but I do need help this week. I do need lots and lots and lots of help this week. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. If you need me, I'm here. I may not be able to return your message immediately, but I will get back to you. And on that note, as we always say, peace, love, and feast. And as always, stay elevated. I love you all, and I will see you very soon. Have a great day.